and they will be committing to the repository, right? So when it comes to the commit, okay, whoever is committed with the commit message, then the commit number will be generated automatically. He is the author, then the date and particular time. Based on that, it will be showing the commit messages, right? So branches also we can create, and branches like a local branch, one master repository, any branches, any number of branches you can create as per the developers, right? And pull request is nothing but where multiple developers are working in a team, they will be creating the pull request for code review purpose. Code review in the sense, whatever the developer's code, it will be reviewed by the other developers or senior members from the client side also, right? So for that purpose, and even for merging from local branch to the master branch or rotation branches, they will be raising the pull request. Fine. When it comes to pipelines, okay, pipeline is nothing but, as we discussed, CI/CD pipeline, continuous integration or continuous delivery pipeline, we can create, and even we can create environments also here, right? Dev environment, then QAT environment, UAT environment, production. So all those environments also we can keep, right? We can create our own environments. Here you can see some of the releases are there, like um, releases, like you can create your own release. This is already existing release where it will be having the multiple environments, as I said, dev environment, then QA environment, then production environment. Here you can add even one more environment, right? Stages will be there. New stage. What is the new stage you can create? Azure App Service deployment or anything you can select from this Azure App Service deployment. Then stage name you can see like ITG. I will create ITG. Okay, so stage owner will be this. Then okay, now the ITG environment has been created, right? So like this we can create our own environment. How many of the environments based on the organization we can create, like dev environment, QA environment, or production environment, right? So now when we click on this add, even we can create our own cloning also. For if you want to clone any of the data from the dev environment or QA environment, you can even clone the code repositories, right? Copy of QA like this. Then even you can create a copy of the dev environment. Here also you can create a copy of the production environment like this, right? So this is a very simple graphical user interface tool where you can work with multiple environments at the same time, right? So uh, when we deal with the pipeline, continuous integration, continuous delivery, when we deploy into multiple environment groups, we can use the deployment groups at the same time, right? So here test plans, that is the next feature where the Selenium tool will be integrated, and after having the Selenium tool, even continuous testing also can be achieved by using this test plans automatically, okay? And instead of the testers are writing automation Selenium separately, and Eclipse, then Maven again, configurations they have to do separately if you don't use the Azure DevOps plans here, right? You can even see the test plans, progress reports, test loads, and that. The artifacts is the again another application feature where the artifacts will be showing some of the once any of the build takes place, the artifacts will be generated. Once the artifacts has been generated, automatically it will be shared with the among team members. So that is the purpose of creation of artifacts. Okay, fine. Now we will see multiple, some of the different waterfall model we have to discuss. Okay, so now we'll see what are the activities in waterfall model. Okay, so this is waterfall model. Okay, so in the waterfall model, waterfall model or agile model, right? We'll see. This is basically plays a major role while dealing with the continuous integration and continuous delivery. The agile methodology provides continuous rapid growth of application delivery to the clients. Fine. In the waterfall model, basically multiple stages are there, while delivering the working software. So what are the stages in the waterfall model? We can say requirements gathering, design, coding, testing, then deployment. Okay, you can say, right? So at this stage, requirement gathering will be there. Okay, requirement gathering. Here they will design the application. Here they will code the application. Coding team will be participating. Here then testing will be there. After testing the application, they have to deploy the application to the multiple environments. Okay, fine. So in the requirement gathering team, let's say requirement gathering team will be working independently. They are not bothered about the design team or coding team, right? So in the requirement gathering, they will gather all the requirements from the client if any of the project comes to the organization. Okay, so when requirement gathering team is working, design team, coding team, testing team, deployment team, all other teams are sitting ideally without having development. So this is one of the disadvantages of the waterfall model. And again, requirement gathering, they will deliver the requirements specification document to the design team. In the design team, architects, then flowcharts, diagrams, algorithms, design patterns, what are the technologies they have to use. So all those things can be designed and implemented in the design level of this. Then coding, when it comes to coding, developers will write the code and they will implement the features and they will test the unit testing from their perspective in the local system, whether it is the feature has been implemented is working fine or not. So all these things the coding team will be doing. Then when it comes to testing, the thorough testing of the application, once the coding is developed, they will be doing the testing, right? And when it comes to deployment, finally it will be deployed. The working software, working product will be deployed to the multiple environments, right? Now when we see the deployment, automatically it will be deployed to multiple environments as we discussed earlier part of the session, right? What are the environments are available? Anyone? Dev environment, QAT, UAT, production or live. Okay, so these are the multiple environments they will deploy the application, right? So now we'll see what are the disadvantages of using waterfall model. So let's say any of the project comes to the organization and they will work for 1 hour, 1 year, and after completion of the 1 year, they will be giving presentation, working software, whichever they have implemented, they will giving a demo to the client. Okay, so what if the client is not satisfied with the product which has been implemented by the this team? Okay, all these efforts will go waste. Okay, so at most the client satisfaction also is not met. So that is why there are some disadvantages using the agile method, waterfall model. What are they? In terms of client satisfaction and in terms of company cost effective and all. Client satisfaction is utmost priority, but client satisfaction is not met. Okay, client satisfaction is not met. Then lack of communication gap, lack of communication among team. Okay, fine. Then rework has to be done always, right? Rework has to be done. Then cost effective also. So these are all different disadvantages, in client satisfaction is not met because the client doesn't want to implement these features. He wanted some other features needs to be implemented separately. So all those things can be satisfied with the agile methodology by overcoming all these drawbacks while implementing the waterfall model. Okay, what is meant by agile methodology? Again, agile methodology is one of the process. Okay, it is not any technique or a tool. Okay, or any technology also. Agile methodology also is a one type of methodology. It is a one type of process. Okay, to deliver the working software to the client users at a fast-paced environment. Right. Let's say some of the sprints. How the agile methodology deliver the working software. Okay, in fast-paced environment, in the sense in sprint-wise manner, and they will deliver the working software. Okay, sprint-wise they will deliver. Sprint, the term, okay, will be followed 2 weeks of the duration. 2 weeks of duration. It follows. In these 2 weeks of duration, all the team members working together, and they will be having some of the estimations, project planning. Then after estimating the project planning, what are the features that they can deliver for the current sprint? Only for 2 weeks of the duration, whatever they could deliver, that will be discussed in the project planning. Okay, that is called as a sprint planning. We can say some of the activities will be followed. That is in the agile methodology. One is daily scrum, another one is sprint planning, another one is sprint retrospective. Okay, sprint retrospective. Okay, in that these are all some activities they will be following in the agile methodology. Why they are conducting daily scrum? Okay, daily scrum is nothing but, okay, whatever the work items they have been assigned to the team. Okay, that will be discussed, whether they are able to progress or not, whether they have impediments or any queries, whether they are not able to progress further. So all these concerns of the developers or team members, it will be addressed in the daily scrum. Okay, daily scrum is nothing but they will be having some meetings along with the scrum master, project manager, and the developers. Okay, and they will be discussing, is there any concerns needs to be addressed. Okay, so that is the daily scrum. In the sprint planning, daily scrum will be having daily meeting. When it comes to sprint planning, the sprint planning will be having some of the features or work items or tasks. What are the tasks based on the priority they will deliver, they could deliver in the current sprint? Those items will be planned. Okay, detailed requirements, also low level design requirements, they will be collecting, and they will work on the sprint planning. When it comes to sprint retrospective, the sprint retrospective is nothing but at the ending of the sprint, they will be having this meeting where they will discuss what went good in the current sprint and what went wrong in the current sprint. In what way we can deliver better results or better uh, working software to the client at the end of the sprint. Okay, so these are all the things. If any of the new team member has joined, whether he need any technical training or any knowledge sharing sessions on the domain perspective, they will be discussing in the sprint retrospective meeting. So now what happens in the sprint one? At the end of the sprint one, they are delivering the working software, some portions of the working software, let's say login page or registration page, according to their available resources. Okay, they will deliver, and they will give a presentation to the demo to the client. Now the client might be giving some of the review comments. Based on that, again that review comments can be implemented in the upcoming sprint. So this way, by following agile methodology, automatically the presentations will be giving, and all these things can be traced, okay, tracked for quality purpose and transparency purpose, accuracy purpose, right? So let's say if any of the working software has been delivered at the end of the sprint, at the end of the 2 weeks of the span, uh, can you compare with the delivering of the working software at the end of the year? Okay, the client satisfaction will be there in the agile methodology. By following agile methodology, Nowadays, every company, every organization, every team in the organizations, they are moving it into waterfall model to the agile methodology. Okay, so these are some differences in the waterfall model and agile model. By following agile methodology, what are the things they can implement? What are the overcomes in the what are the problems that they can overcome by following agile methodology that we have discussed in this session. Now, when it comes to DevOps, Azure DevOps is a Microsoft product. It is implemented, incorporated in 2010. It has a 20% of the market base and 40 plus geographical locations will be there. Geographical locations in the sense they will be having some data centers throughout the globe, Asia Pacific region, East US, Central US, so all those things. Based on that, the geographical locations will be maintained. So the Azure DevOps is rapidly growing. When it comes to the training sessions, like typically 45 days to 60 days, we can cover up this Azure DevOps. When it comes to other cloud platforms like AWS or any Google Cloud platform, the AWS, if you wanted to work with AWS is a separate tool. Again, there you need to create the virtual machines and data resources, resource groups, and then EC2 servers we need to integrate. Then again, Jenkins separately, Git separately you have to use. Okay. When it comes to Azure DevOps, there is no need of using Git separately, Jenkins separately, or Selenium separately. Okay. Even the boards is the replacement of Jira, and the repository is the replacement of Git version. Then the even for project managers also, instead of using Visio tool or a Draw tool, even project manager can work with the Azure DevOps. Even they can create the resource management groups like project planning, deliverables. So all these things based on their resources, they can create the pie charts and the bund up charts, bund down charts by using the Azure DevOps. So for all people, we can say those who are working in the project for starting from the project planning till the end of the delivery to the application to the client, all stakeholders can be work with the Azure DevOps. Okay, that is a beautiful application where all the features integrated into a single unit application. That is Azure DevOps. It has been developed by the Microsoft, and now every organization is moving it into DevOps portion. When it comes to the tools, earlier we have discussed Jenkins plays a major role, and Git also plays major roles for maintaining the version controls and for branching concepts. Azure DevOps also we can have. Then Docker, Kubernetes, some Maven, Nagios, some of the configuration and the monitoring tools also they can work with. Okay, let's say what is the role of the DevOps engineer? Basically, when any of the DevOps engineers comes to the IT industry, basically they give a demos to the project managers when they are migrating from a legacy application to the modern platform like DevOps tools. Okay, for maintaining the continuous integration and continuous delivery to the application, and uh, even for project managers, how they can work with, even for developers, testers, how they can integrate the Selenium with Azure DevOps. They can give a presentations to the end users, okay, or clients. So these are some advantages using the Azure DevOps over using other cloud platforms, you can say. When it comes to opportunities, basically, the DevOps market is rapidly growing. We can say as long as the IT organizations has to maintain the applications, the DevOps maintains the sustainability in the market. Fine. Um, for keeping the experienced people, and job opportunities are more even from the startups to the top MNCs, right? Then you can get a fresh entry level as a fresher or as a experience level also. You can go with the DevOps. Okay. So any doubts we can discuss.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Krishna. This is Vinod.
Yeah,
Basically, I am from non-financial, non-tech background. I want to change my platform. So can I do Azure DevOps?
yes. Basically, the prerequisites for learning this Azure DevOps or any DevOps tool is there is no need of any technical knowledge, technical expertise. Okay, only basic English command is there. Basic command. Those who can speak in basic English, those who can understand the basic English, they can learn very easily. Fine.
Okay. Yep. Fine.
Anyone? Any queries? Comments?
Is this any language required to do Azure DevOps? Like coding?
No, nothing. C language is not required. C++
Okay.
is not required. Java is not required. .NET is not required. Nothing is required to learn Azure DevOps. Okay. So only basic English is required to learn this tool. Fine.
Yep. Fine. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, fine then. We will end up the session today. Fine. Thanks for joining.
Yeah. Thank you.